Hey, this is MiracleMax. Welcome to Rise of Kingdoms. Hey, I'm here in Kingdom 2 right now in the Alliance UCS, and we have had the circles fall kingdom-wide. So I'm going to show you a replay of that. Sometimes these events happen at hours where I just cannot get my brain together enough to do much more than record. So I add the voice later, and that's what I'm doing now. And you'll just have to bear with me when activities happen at 4:30 in the morning or 3 in the morning. Well, I'm just not alive enough to give you all of me. So let's scroll out on the kingdom map and you can just take a look at how Kingdom 2 is dominating the map now. And if you notice, Kingdom 2 actually started up here. This was the beginning of the zone that Kingdom 2 started in. Kingdom 2 moved down to the gates that led us into the center of the map. And Kingdom 2 also moved to the left and blocked in everybody on the left, leading in to the center of the map. So that is all yellow. We do have one alliance here, Pala, that is being permitted access to a pass. So the reasons behind that, that's all kingdom leaders making alliances. And but at this point, that is other kingdom the only other alliance that actually has access to any of these maps. If you look over here, Kingdom 2 has done a job cutting off a few more kingdoms down here. And we've got some battles going on right now between Kingdom 5, which is red in this bottom corner, and Kingdom 2 doing a job of cutting them off. So we have also some alliances between Kingdom 2 and Kingdom 3 and 4, and that's why you see yellow and blue out on, or yellow and green on the map. Green is Kingdom 3, and that alliance toll has got some alliances going, and it looks like Kingdom 4, which is your light blue, also has some alliances going. And so all these passes up here are also covered by yellow. And this is the only pass that hasn't been claimed yet. This is the one that is going to be fought for. And you can see U little c little s is gearing towards that one. And above it, this is A01 in yellow coming down and cutting off from the top. So lots of action. But the circles fell last night, and it's interesting as we saw that happen that if you are a kingdom and an alliance with a lot of T5 units, boy, you have some margins for error. And I'm surprised at the method we went about attacking this. I think that some mixed messages came across, and yet we were still very successful. We ended up going on and taking several circles last night. And if we go to the reports, you can see that 3 circles, these are first occupation reports, 3 circles were taken fairly quickly, 1, 2, and 3, by our alliance. So they fell quickly, and I'm going to show you the video of the first one. But first, let's go in and let's look at some scout reports and see what happened. So we have 4,500 or 4.5 million T5 infantry units. Now, infantry, I would suspect that archers would be the best way to go about them. And though we had archer leaders, as you'll see, our rally directions were a little confusing, and so we ended up with a mix of archers and cavalry, which is kind of interesting, kind of funny. But let's look at the skills of this commander. First skill is, again, a massive rage dealer, and it is AoE. So this covers that circle. If you've already taken the Crusader Fortress, then you're going to expect the same kind of action here as you saw there. So full circle, don't get caught in the circle if you are a single army or you're going to die. Second skill, this tells us that we have guardians that hop up on the map just like the Crusader Fortress, and these guardians are going to stop your rallies from doing any damage. So it's important that you take down these guardians immediately when they hop up on the map. Third skill actually tells us when the guardians get summoned. So when the circle gets damaged by 30%, guardians hop on the map. They are strong, and the longer they're on the map, the more damage they do to you. And then lastly, we have the believers, and we've seen the believers before at the Lost Temple. So when you see a 5% reduction of the strength, and this is every 5% um, of the strength of the circle, you're going to see believers start out. They're going to start at the farthest point on the forks and work their way slowly to the center. If the guardian, or I'm sorry, if the believers reach the center and they reach the circle, they restore 25% of the health to this circle. So really, really big damage to us. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch to the video and we'll walk through how that went. And you can see, some of the things that were a little bit confusing. But again, we were very successful, and we had to set our resolution on low again, simplifying graphics just because of the sheer number of troops on the field. All right, so let's watch this battle take place. We do have armies on all four forks, and that is to attack guardians and to defend the believers and take them down before they reach the center. And here we go, here comes our alliance rally, and you can see from here that we did have, I believe it was Yi Sung Yi, we'll see in just a moment, as our main commander to lead archers on the field. But we did have instructions, and I'll show you that instruction up there will change and say to bring a rally of cavalry. So I think what happened is we started with one game planned, it got changed, and the tag above the circle of nature did not get changed. All right, so one thing that is interesting in this is if you're picking up ruins to attack this, you're going to want a different rune if you're attacking the circle directly or if you're attacking guardians and believers. Guardians and believers are neutral forces, which means that any of the buffs that you have that take down barbarians are also going to work against them. So if you see ruin out on the field, that is additional damage to barbarians. And here we go, you can see the mass of the army, and here comes the rally coming in. And we had multiple T5 armies out on the field that also went ahead and did a direct attack on this structure to make the damage happen faster. There wasn't a timeline on this one. We've seen some of the new structures have a time limit where there's 100% heal that happens, and you want to get that damage done quickly. But on this one, we had as long as we needed, and this was, generally speaking, a pretty long rally. You can see my 3 armies waiting there to join into the battle, and I did bring one army of full archers, which is led by Boudica. Here come the believers coming in from the sides. And I brought also a cav army and uh, an infantry army. So we took the believer down on that fork, and I tried to move around and just show you as different things were coming in on different forks, because it wasn't an equal attack. It wasn't believers on all 4 forks at the same time. It was generally 2 that believers hit and 2 that the guardians hit when they dropped, and it changed where they were dropping. So I'm going in and out. You can see a believer in the left hand corner up there, that's going down, and here we have a new believer in the right hand corner coming in. And this takes teamwork. This takes everyone staying on their fork and doing their job. My troops are sitting down there, and it looked like our believers were going to be in trouble, so I prepared to send a unit up there to help, but it did end up falling. And you want to make sure nothing reaches. So since that fork seemed light, it seemed good to move on. I did get my Boudica in the rally, and that was with all archers. It was Boudica and Yi Sung Yi, but my commanders don't make a difference. It is the lead commanders of the rally leader that make the difference. So we have a believer coming in down here at the bottom. And I will tell you, it's very hard to get in your troops when there's so much action on the field, so many armies. It's difficult to select the actual guardian or the believer to attack them. So we're getting near that 30% now when the Guardians, and there they are. And if you notice, the Guardians all went in one direction. And we have a believer on that fork too. So things got a little hairy here, but we did have enough armies to take care of it. I can show you a battle report for what the battle uh, against the Guardians looked like also, and then I'll show you the full battle report for attacking the circle also after the end of this attack. So Guardians did go down, and they did come in waves over and over again, and you can see there's a believer coming in from the top there now. And again, it's just everybody staying at home and doing their job and staying out of the AoE circle. You know, you don't want your entire army to disappear on you, um, just because you got lazy with your troop placement and you let them get in that red circle that just appeared right there. You do not want to get caught in that. The damage is strong. We did see that was a 3,500, I believe, damage factor that dropped. So on a T4 army, that dies pretty quickly. All right, so another believer coming in, and again, really have to keep those believers from hitting that structure no matter what. They're more important than the Guardians. They're even more important than the rally, just because of that 25% healing that they do. And you can see some armies are leaving the field. Here comes another believer, top left. Um, just dropped down a little bit below 50%. And again, watch that bar to the left of the commander icon for the circle, because when that reaches the top, that red circle is going to jump out, and you don't want to be caught inside of it. So there we go, hitting those believers in the bottom right-hand corner. Just trying to keep a lookout and making sure that we're okay all the way around. You do see some individual armies also attacking the circle, and those are all T5 armies. Those are not T4 troops. I would not recommend trying to battle these T5 infantry with T4 troops unless you just want to fill your hospital up really fast. I like my hospitals to stay empty, so I stayed back on the paths and did what was my job. So here we go again, more Guardians coming, and it looks like we have 6 this time that popped up, and again, all went for that one fork. So surprising that they did not spread out equally to the people in battle, but they all headed to the same place, which make us scramble to that area. And time again, these Guardians hop up. They do fall pretty fast. We have enough armies to keep that mass attack away. But really, this is I think this took us about 6 minutes. It was a really intense battle. You know, you just have to be sure that you're on top of your area, but also watch out. And if another area looks like they are running low on troops, be ready to move, be ready to help, while also avoiding that red circle in the middle. So this isn't a battle that you can be lazy on. This is a battle that you've got to keep on your toes, be ready, as action just keeps changing throughout the battle. So our El Cid Yi Song Yi rally is still holding strong, and it looks like we have a Richard army, a Minamoto army, and a Hannibal army all directly attacking the circle. Every time a message pops up, we know there are more troops coming in, and it looks like, all right, we've got more believers coming and more believers there. So just consistently being ready. I think all my troops survived this battle. I did have a battle in another kingdom for the Crusader Fortress where I made the mistake of letting my troops getting drawn in too close to the Crusader Fortress. And when that red circle popped, 2 of my armies decided they wanted to go home early with sad faces. And hey, it happens. You know, this is a game where we're experiencing all new events now, all new structures, and um, you know, we're going to make mistakes, and that is all right. And I hope you are loving this Lost Kingdom. I hope that the constant new stuff is making the game fun for you again. I know for a lot of people, the game had a period of boredom between the Lost Temple falling and the Lost Kingdom opening. So I hope if you were a player who stopped playing very often, that you hopped back into the game once the Lost Kingdom opened and you are doing your best. Whoa, that was a swarm of guardians there. One, two, three, four. Looks like we had 8. And again, 7 of them all headed up to the top right, and one went to the southwest, bottom left. But wow, that is just a huge attack on that one area, and those armies are holding strong. They're doing their job. Remember, when the Guardians are on the field, damage reduction drops by 99%. So our hits are doing 1% of their potential. And so we need those Guardians to go down as fast as we can. All right, one more Guardian on the field there, and it's down. And so now we're back to a Believer. And we're just at the very, very end. You can see there's just not very much health left there. Just got to finish this off, finish strong, and stop those 2 Believers in the top left, and we should be okay. And there we go. There was our victory. So congrats to everybody. That again, this is UCS in Kingdom 2 on the first Lost Kingdom map. I believe the Kingdom map's name is 101. So let me switch back to live for you and show you those reports. We're just going to give my screen a minute to catch up. And I will say Lilith has helped some with the lag we were experiencing with all the armies on the map, so I do appreciate that. All right, let me claim that, go to favorites, and we'll start with looking at the, this is the battle report that included the attempt on the Circle of Nature. 79.3% damage was done by our rally, and that was El Cid and Yi Sung Yi. So we did do double archer as our commanders, but you'll see that we did end up with all kinds of troops in there. It was pretty funny. So battle log, there's our units, and you can see we have some Minamotos, some Richards, Hermans, a mix of leaders coming in. And take a look at the damage done, and we'll scroll down to the first time that the enemy's AoE happened so you can see what the damage happened on that. So let's go ahead and go down and see if we can find when the when the circle hit us with its AoE, and that should be around turn 30. So I'm going to scroll quickly and see if we can get down there and show that to you, and then I'll show you the troop buffs and get this video uploaded for you. So I did hit 500 subscribers in the last 24 hours. Thank you so much. I know that the 2 new kingdoms I'm in, Kingdom 135 and Kingdom 157, have jumped on board. And guys, I so appreciate every subscription. It just tells me to keep doing this. And especially there are some days when there's a lot of action where it feels like a job. And I don't ever want this game to feel like a job to me. I want it to be fun. I mean, we don't play games to have it be work. I do appreciate your subscriptions and your making this game stay fun for me and keeping me excited about making videos. All right, so let's see if we can find that massive hit by the enemy. And I'm not seeing it there. And you know, we do bring commanders who are going to do some deadening of the attack of the enemy. I mean, that is part of why you want a Hannibal Barca, or you want a Herman, or even a Boudica to if you look at El Cid's talent clarity. that lasts for 6 turns. These are talents that are going to help you stay out on the battlefield longer and diminish the effect that the enemy is having on your troops. We'll look a couple more turns. And some people get really into these battle logs, and if you do and you want me to send it, send me a PM in the game, and I would be glad to share this with you in a PM so you can look at all the details of the attack. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out of that there, and I'm going to show you the troop buffs. And we were looking at maxed El Cid and a max Yi Song Yi, skills maxed and level 60. So really good leaders. That helps a lot in these battles. Tier 5 troops help a lot in these battles also. And let me go back in the reports and just show you a report on the Guardian. So this is the Guardian, and then I'll show you the Supreme Being. But I was taking several hits on this. This was not a they just weren't falling that fast, I'll tell you that. So 200,000 unit level 50 is their equivalent. And I did on this one have Minamoto with Genghis Khan as my combination with my cavalry. Speed doesn't matter, and so that skill of Genghis Khan that slows him down actually in battle wasn't going to affect me in this case. Other times it is not helpful. And let's look at the believers and show you what the battle log looks like on the believers. So it looks like, again, the equivalent of 200,000 level 50 troops. And this was Lohar and Richard with an all infantry against it. And we could show you the troop buffs on that. See what damage that believer can do and what its buffs are. You know, I'm not sure if I showed you the buffs on the Guardian, so I'll go back and show that real quick before I leave. And there's the troop buffs on the Guardians. So fun battle. You know, I think, like I said, we got a little messy in our troop selection. I think a full rally of all archers would have been the best as far as hitting this infantry-based circle. But what we did worked. I mean, you guys saw it fall, and we did take 3. And, you know, because of agreements with other alliances within our kingdom, we took them at the beginning and then ended up passing some on to other alliances. This red one here, we passed on to this is one of our mini alliances, UCS, and we have that one there. Over here, we have another one, and then I think up top we passed one down right here. Nope, this one RUB got all on their own. So that's going to be it for today. Get ready for the circles. 4.5 million Tier 5 troops. These battles are getting more difficult the further we get into the Lost Kingdom. But really, that's what we want, right? I mean, we want some hard battles. So I hope you are enjoying yourself in the Lost Kingdom and are prepping for these structures. And I also hope these videos help you prepare for the structures as they are coming up in your kingdom. All right, again, thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like the video. If you have any questions on the circle, anything you'd like me to show you more of, I'd be happy to answer it, or just any questions in general. I'd be glad to answer them. I try to be pretty quick at responding to comments on my videos. If you take the time to write something to me, I will take the time to respond. For all of you who have subscribed and got me to 500 subscribers, I sure appreciate it. If you haven't yet and you're watching my videos, hey, it's time to hit that button. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.